So I'd like to talk to you now a little bit about our last trimester project, and for some of you, the final project. Okay, so I want to show you some resources, walk you through a few things to help you get started on this. So on our main page, of course, if you go to calendar, you will see the calendar that we have set up for you and all the dates. So starting this week, right, you're going to watch this video that you're watching now, and notice that I've put the guidelines and the rubrics for this project here. So let me go over the project, then we'll come back to this calendar and check out some dates. So for the trimester 3 project, notice a few things. This is actually the trimester 3 and a final project, meaning you're doing two separate things, or at least some of you are. Let me give you some more context. So everyone in the class will do a trimester 3 project. It's worth 60 points. Everyone does this. Now, because there are some seniors taking this course, some seniors may be exempt from the final project if you have an average of 93 or above. That means your final course average must be a 93 or above. If you have that, you are exempt from the final project, and I will just give you an X or an exempt in that final project score. For the rest of you, for the juniors and seniors who are not exempt, you will be doing two projects, the trimester 3 project, the final project, to give us a total experience of worth 100 points. All right, so let's go through the scope and sequence. So you're watching this video now to learn about the project. Once you have decided on a type and topic, remember, like before, you're going to post in our discussion board what you'd like to do. I'll respond back and approve that. Then you're going to work on the project, and notice these projects will be due Friday, May 12th. That's for everyone. The trimester 3 project is due on Friday, May 12th, and you will turn it in on the turn-in discussion board. Okay? That's so other people can comment and give you feedback as well. Then, if you're a senior who's exempt, you're done then. Everyone else will have a week to work on the final project. The final project is a little less in its depth and complexity, so you will have plenty of time that week to work on. Now, we will not be uploading the final project to a discussion board. Instead, you're going to submit that directly to me via a Dropbox. Okay, so let's go back to the calendar now and make sure you understand the dates. So this week we're prepping. By the end of this week, I need you to tell me and submit your project proposal. You can click directly on the link. This is where you're going to tell me the choice of your project and the choice of your topic. Okay? That's by this Friday. Then you've got next week to work on it. You have the following week to work on it. And the projects are due by uploading to this discussion board here on the 12th. Notice this is a different discussion board than this one. Okay? Then juniors and some seniors who are not exempt will work on the final project, complete it here, and submit it by the 19th. All right, so let's get into the project a bit more. For the trimester 3 project, this is what everyone is doing. You have your choices before, but remember, please choose an option for the project type that you have not done before. So don't do the same thing you did for trimester 1 or trimester 2. Notice the rubrics are here. Please make sure you follow the rubric to make sure you're getting all the points for your project. Also, please remember that some of these you can work with partners, some of them you cannot. All right, so what are our topics? For the trimester 3 project, you basically have the same project choices, but remember we have new topics for trimester 3. You can choose solar and green energy, nuclear energy, quantum computing, multiverse theory, black holes and wormholes, space projects, or theory of relativity. Remember, a pro tip for you is that these are very broad categories, so when you're proposing to me in your discussion board what you want to do, please narrow it in the post. So you might say, for example, I'm very interested in talking about in a space project, particularly the mission to Mars or the Johnson Webb Space Telescope. If you want to do theory of relativity, say I'm more specifically interested in special relativity, okay? So give me a little more specific detail when you're talking about your trimester 3 project. Okay, so everyone's doing this, and as you remember, that is due, the project is due by May 12th. You're telling me your topic choice by the end of this week. So if you are an exempt senior, meaning you have a 93 average or above, and that will, by the way, include the trimester 3 project, you can stop watching. Everyone else, you need to continue watching because I'm going to talk about the final project. If you're not sure where you are, go ahead and finish watching so you can learn about the final project as well. All right, so you're going to keep scrolling until we see a little bit more about the final course project. So it says, choose one of the following project types for your final course project. Seniors can be exempt if your yearly average of 93 or above. Now, after the T3 projects are graded, I'm going to email you and let you know if you are exempt or not. That's for seniors. All juniors, you have to do this. All right, so what are you doing? My goal for the final project, it's not to overwhelm you. It's actually a pretty short project. But I want you to take what you've learned this year and synthesize it all, right? So think back to the very beginning of the course, and I want you to sort of synthesize. And you've got 3 options. 1, a 1.5 to 2 page reflection of 3 important or memorable things you learned in the course. So let's look at the rubric. For this, what you're going to do is you're going to write an introduction paragraph where you list those 3. Then you're going to write 3 body paragraphs where you specifically talk about each of the 3 things you mentioned in your introduction paragraph. Then you'll conclude it. Make sure you're giving proper citations. Give me a works cited at the end. 40 points for this particular final project reflection paper. All right. So the next option is to do an original piece of artwork that somehow incorporates 3 of the topics from this year's course with a 1/2 page written artist statement. So if you want to do a painting that somehow in a way showed 3 of the topics. So maybe it's a painting that is of a spaceship, NASA, going towards a black hole and its length contraction because we talked about theory of relativity. You see how that's 3 topics incorporated into 1 piece of artwork, and then a 1/2 page written artist statement. So if you're looking at the rubric, again, you need to include at least 3 topics in this artwork, whatever you choose to do, and then make sure that your written statement tells us why you chose those and how they're relevant to the course. Then the final thing you could do, if you don't want to do the reflection paper, if you don't want to do the artwork, you can make a top 10 list infographic. So in this, you're just going to make an infographic, 1 page, of fun or interesting things you learned in the course. So if we go to the rubric for that, you have an infographic. You're going to give it an interesting title. You're going to list 10 things, facts that you learned in the class. Then you're going to add some specific graphics to make it look nice. And then, of course, your facts have to be accurate. Okay? So those are the 3 options for your final project. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm excited to see what you do for your trimester project and for your final course project. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns.